Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
We gotta do the Stooge entrance sometime.
Everybody freeze frame. Welcome back to the Forever
Okay,
DMs.
this tea's really hot.
Welcome back to the Forever DMs and our weekly campaign set in the fantastical world of Thrayne. Quick housekeeping note: we're going to be taking next week off because we've got a couple of birthdays next week in the party, and we'll all still have turkey comas going on, and I won't be able to fit in any of my pants for another week or so.
Air frying a turkey this year.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Gabe, by the way, I made a terrible mistake. I bought a turkey that's so much bigger than it has any right to be. There's going to be so much. There's going to be so much turkey.
Delicious.
There's
and
There's a 24-pound turkey sitting in my fridge right now.
I'll bring the s'more tart.
I don't know what I was thinking.
So you bought a dire turkey?
I did in fact buy a dire turkey.
But and then this coming weekend there is no Breakfast and Dragons. It's our off week, but we will return the following week, continuing on that campaign. But jumping back into the world of Thrayne, in the town of Orton, just outside of Crag Keep, on the island of Cinderfall, the Kinship of Light and their new companion helping them out and helping them find their way, Mellifera, wait in a basement underneath the guild hall for a friend of Melly's named Chetlin to return. A higher up in the mining guild here in town. Don't know why my music went away. A higher up in the mining guild here in town has agreed to help Melly get Mist through the mines to the sanctuary deep in the mountain, deep in the volcano. While you waited. Mist and Kai waited for a while, only to be visited by a strange, frail woman, blind, with her seeing eye dog, who called herself the Scale Mistress. Melly, Selu, and Kai and Jubei, were out and about, getting a little bit of shopping done before making their way back. We return to you all. It is late afternoon now. You still have a little while before Chetland returns after the market has shut down for the day. So deep in the basement of the guild hall, you all return with Selu holding a near identical fiend card from a tarot deck.
Fuck, I
that
forgot
looks
where we left off.
an
Oh,
awful
shit.
lot like the one your old friend Reese carried.
Right. Okay.
So, Selu, as you hold this card, the gentle brush of the breeze coming down through the doorway as the doorway shuts behind the lot of you and the workers go about their day. You look up and see your friends.
So, I'm sorry, remind me who all was down in the basement and who all would have just come in, or we were all there whenever by the time I picked up the card, right?
The entire party is present.
Okay.
And we've already talked about the meeting of the Scaled Mistress. Selu went to the couch and picked up where the card had been.
Correct.
Okay. All right, trying to get my timeline back together.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's been a week, y'all. So
Can I roll insight? Can I guess, Mist told us that the Scale Mistress said that he was going to kill her, right?
yes, he did.
Yes.
He
Yep.
blurted that out.
Knowing what I know about the Scale Mistress and that they're like oracles and everything like that, I guess, can I roll insight to see how accurate they are with their predictions?
I think maybe a history check would be more
Okay.
appropriate here.
Thank you, kind DM.
Who?
You.
No.
Sometimes. Okay, sorry. My character sheet got a little wonky. I shall roll history, and I have +0, so that is going to be a 14.
Okay. With a 14, thinking back through your years serving with the Seekers and what little you heard from your father even before that, they're rarely wrong. What little they do share. At your rank, even being a venerable captain as you were, very little of the workings of the scales came to you, even though your branch of the order was responsible for guarding them. You spent your time in the sanctuary with the peoples there, and the scales came down very rarely, usually keeping to their quarters within the hold in whatever esoteric arts they pursue. But what you did hear of was rarely wrong.
Gonna keep that to myself.
Okay.
We were hoping for you to be like, yeah, they don't normally know what the fuck they're talking about.
If I get asked, that's a different question, but for now I'll keep it to myself.
Wonderful.
So picking up the card and just like stopping dead in their tracks as just a rush of memories washes over them. They seem stunned for a second and then kind of look back up at the rest of the group. Was it the Scale Mistress had this?
Yet she must have left it. I didn't even see it lying there. That's the one she pulled out, yes.
Do you recognize? This looks so much like Reese's.
The whole deck did. It was uncanny.
You know, are we sure this is not Reese and Drag playing a joke?
That
Reese does not seem like the type to joke like this.
Nothing about the drag, just the joke.
Reese is also a long way away.
Kai doesn't know what the fuck that means.
And so, no, I don't think this is Reese, but something here's... How are they so similar? Melly, what do you know of the Scale Mistress and do you... these cards? What can you tell us about them?
Truthfully, they keep to themselves normally, so I personally have never had the opportunity to have a meeting with the Scale Mistress in that they read my fortune or anything like that. I know they use cards as one of their methods, but I've personally never had the chance to do it, so these are new to me.
So they do read fortunes, though.
Yes.
This wasn't her just trying to scare me. Or provoke me. I don't know. She told me I'd kill her.
You know, they're rarely ever right.
Insight check.
Can I use my inspiration?
You can absolutely use it whenever you want.
Miss is instantly assured because he trusts you wholeheartedly.
Inspiration is advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also just roll, and if it's poor before I tell you what the result is, you can decide to use your inspiration.
I got an 18.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 15 on the die for a total of 22 from Insight from Selu.
Okay. Melly,
Can I try again?
if you would like to use your inspiration for this, go ahead.
No lie, I just rolled a 22. You can check D&D Beyond. I'm gonna take a picture.
All right, so that's Selu had a 22, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we have met. So what I'm gonna ask Suze is, what does Selu read between the lines of what you say? Not the truth behind the words, but what does Selu read between the lines in what you say?
I think Selu hears a little bit of sadness and like pity, and whether or not that has to do with the truth, or just because I see how this has affected Mist, can go either way. But I think they see that, yeah, like a little bit of sadness and pity there. And hope, maybe?
Okay.
An interesting way to take that, I like it.
Interesting. I'm sure they're not. These oracles, do they ever leave here? Do they go anywhere else, or do they just stay here?
With your history roll earlier, they are known to travel occasionally, but it is not super common.
I know that they've left their quarters, the sanctuary in the past, but again, they are very secretive. And the fact that they came in here, had a conversation, told you your future or what they believe your future to be, I'm not sure why they have a stock in it or their desire to come speak to you, but
She said
yeah.
very clearly that she wanted to meet the person who would kill her. I would like to meet that person too if I had the opportunity.
Just know that they're not usually right. So you know, don't go in there thinking you're gonna kill the scale mistress and bring ruin, and you know, that's surely not gonna happen.
I mean, we've been nothing but nice to Mealy. There's certainly no reason she would lie to us. I mean, I am fully trusting in what she's saying.
Me too. I believe all of this to be true. Right?
It's not like she would lead us into a situation where we would not go in with all the information at hand.
Oh no, who would possibly do something like that to their friends?
I'm rolling
Who
a
indeed?
constitution check to see if I can hold on to this lie.
Totally up
I
to
rolled
you.
I rolled a 4.
That is a self-imposed check, so you tell me what happens.
All right, y'all. I'm really sorry. The scale mistresses, they're usually right all the time.
Well,
I lied to you, and I'm sorry.
Jube's still got his mouth open for what he's. Obviously, I am a horrible judge of character, and do not listen to me.
No, I promise lying is not in my nature, not to friends like y'all, and I do feel very protective of y'all, and believe me that this lie came from a good place. I'm hoping that they're wrong, because I don't think there's Mist, I don't think you would hurt them.
I'm sure you just said it to try to protect me.
A lot of that going around.
If they are not wrong, and she is speaking the truth, then she must have seen something that will cause Mist to want to kill her.
I'm afraid that perhaps, and I've been very frank with y'all and very transparent, I can't guarantee that they'll let you leave, but also know that I'm on your side if they won't let you leave. And if it's true what the scale mistress said, then I wonder if they won't once we're in, and we'll have to do something about it.
Well, we will be leaving no matter what.
It would probably be a good time to mention that she also said, "Good luck in the caves," like she knew which way we were going to go.
Honestly, growing up, I've listened to stories, and you know how many stories where the hero at the beginning gets some like mystical old lady that shows up and tells her, "Hey, this is going to happen to you." But when it comes down to it, your fate is in your hands. If it comes down to it, Miss, that you're going to kill just don't.
That does happen a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost a trope at this point.
I think I did really well not killing the last person I said I was going to kill.
I think
Who
you
was
did
that?
really well too.
Thank you.
Reese's Lord, whatever his name was.
Etheldick.
Yeah.
Dick, yes.
Ethelric, but you know.
Lord, his
Ethel
wife
Richard, which is short for.
Yeah, Lord, his wife was more memorable than him.
They're not married yet. So, as you are all talking, you hear the door at the top of the stairs swing open. And the heavy trudged iron-booted or iron-shod boots of Chetland descend back down. Who the hell else knows you're here?
Well, there's Selu, and Kai,
And Jubei.
and Melee, and Mist, and the people we saw at the shops. Her nephew. The
That's an
harbor,
extensive list, Jubei. Perhaps we should stop now.
the harbor master that we killed the harpies for.
The person who took us on the boat,
Who
his
the
wife.
hell else knows you're in this basement?
Oh, I don't know.
Y'all have a visitor?
Chetland, did something happen?
I don't know, you tell me. Upstairs they're saying some old lady came in red.
We have a visitor right now, or you're talking about the visitor we did have?
So there was somebody here.
It might
With a
have been.
dog.
Oh yes, it was a very pretty. I mean, there might have been.
Look. You
Chetland, it
and
was-
finger up at Melly. You are bringing trouble to my doorstep.
As this conversation is going on, Selu is like just slowly moving the card like back like into a fold. Just like not drawing attention to it, but just dropping it down out of view.
I mean,
Chetland,
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
you know.
Jubei. No, Jubei, please.
I was gonna say,
In character.
your basement, as nice as it is for you to offer it, it's not our first choice. I mean, I would rather have a comfy inn, preferably with a bath.
But we're by no means saying your hospitality is not welcome, Chetland. I don't know how the scale mistress found us, but if she wanted to, she could have. Yes, I know, Chetland, give me one moment.
The what?
So, yes, I said the scale mistress. Now, if she wanted us to be found, she would have brought the other seekers with her, and she didn't. So I think, concerning, but I think we're fine. And I'll look at the rest of the group.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're all set. Yep.
I mean, you don't have anyone tearing down your doors yet.
You remember little Talias lives down the lane? Little boy. Well, he wants to grow up to be one of the newfangled seekers. And he saw that old lady leaving, and now he's going running up the hill.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it, Tobias.
Do I have to kill a child?
No!
He's joking, Chetland. I know you just met them, but they're quite the jokesters.
Yes. Ha 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 ha.
We are leaving now. Come on.
We won't kill a child. We might
And he
threaten
turns
one.
and stomps intentionally back up the stairs.
Oh, goodness me, this ain't going how I expected it.
Oh, and this looks back up, and he's a lost soldier again.
Well, I suppose he brings up a good point. Staying here might not be the best of idea, even if she didn't intend to bring anyone.
Yes, but I'll be honest with you, Selu. Between you and I am concerned. And I'm trying to put on a brave face for you and your friends, because I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction.
Sailor just like puts a hand on like their arm and it's like, I understand, and I understand where you were coming from in what you said before. And right now, I think probably best that we find somewhere safe to be. from
I'll,
many accidental prying eyes.
You're right. And when you touch my arm, I'll put like my hand here and just give you like a little pat and be like, "You're a good person, Selu."
I try to be. All
From
right.
upstairs, you hear Chetland shouting at his employees, "Not a word, not a damn word from none of you. You want to keep this job? Shut your fucking mouths." And he shouts back down the stair, "Y'all coming?"
Right. Well, shall we then?
Yeah.
Finding
All
your
right.
way finding your way back up the stairs from around the side and an exit other than the one you came in. On the main floor, a small door leads to the back, and you see a wagon there. And Chetland looks at you all and says, "Get in, lie down."
Not my first time. And Miss
There is
slides in.
there are 4 cinderfolk dwarven, very minor looking individuals, thick leather aprons, pickaxe, tools, covered in soot, all standing around the wagon.
They're minor looking, so like pretty young.
Yeah, for a dwarf. So like, a couple hundred.
Right.
Come on, get in, get in.
All right. Take it easy.
Right then.
Selu and Kai, with your high perceptions, you hear Chetland whisper to one of the workers who is standing there watching all this. "Go downstairs, make sure they didn't leave nothing behind. Put it all right back where it was. Yes, including my couch." As you all lay down in the back of the wagon, the freak and sudden jolt of movement as 2 goats begin to clop their hooves on the ground and pull it, and you can hear the heavy iron-shod footsteps of these dwarven individuals, these fiery hair and bearded cinderfolk, as they head out of the small fenced enclosure and then towards Millie, which you can only surmise to be the guild mine itself. I would like everyone to roll a perception check except for Kai.
Is this for something 200 feet away that I could use my telescope?
No, it's hearing specifically.
I got a cool 8.
A total of 10.
I got a 9. Juve's not paying attention. He's actually talking to one of the miners. So, what'd you dig?
Total of 14, passive of 17, if that matters.
Okay, so
I'm really glad my 10 wasn't the highest.
So Kai is going to be the only one who hears this. Kai, from down the lane behind you, you hear several horses galloping, a familiar sound to you. And you hear the clatter and clamor of mounted warriors pulling to a quick halt. Back the way you came, as the wagon creaks on up the road towards the mine.
Whew. I don't say anything. They don't need to know.
And there is no mistaking what that is.
Yeah.
To Kai. But eventually, laying down in the bed of the wagon, the road gets even bumpier and bumpier and bumpier until eventually you hear a clunk, a metallic chink, and then a grinding sound before the wheels catch. And you hear shink, 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 shink of metal wheels sliding against railing until eventually they lock in and start rolling. And the wagon begins to move perfectly smoothly, pulled by these goats on some sort of mining rail. And the light of the day disappears above you.
So is this like a copper mine, a gold mine? Do you guys mine? Oh, it's dark.
And the last thing you see, Juve, is this dwarven worker look at you, finally smiling, and he smiles, and there's like 3 missing teeth, and one of them's gold. But it looks like he found a nugget and like shoved it up there. Well, we got all kinds of stuff down there.
So, is it safe for us to come out at this point, or should we stay down here for a while longer?
No, you should stay.
Does Mist hear banjos playing in the distance? Like,
No.
getting some Deliverance vibes going on here.
After a few moments, you begin to hear the other dwarves chuckling, and you realize that he was totally kidding and playing a joke at your expense. And y'all can get up. You're fine. Ain't nobody coming in the mines if they ain't in the guild, except for y'all, I guess.
We appreciate the assistance.
Kai, once again, that familiar sound of horses galloping against a hard trodden surface coming to a quick halt, and you hear several rough voices shouting at them. You all can begin to hear the clamor at the entrance to the mine that is just around the bend out of view. Kai, that familiar sound of a mounted war party coming back into your mind. Shouting, anger, loud, angry, disappointed, frustrated voices echo through the chamber at you all.
Perhaps we should speed up just a bit.
Oh, these old nags ain't going any faster. You just sit there. Don't worry, them boys ain't letting anybody in.
Okay.
And a bit of time continues to pass. Deeper, deeper, the oppressive cool of being underground and that grainy mineral smell, damp air, and a cool temperature greet you until eventually the wagon comes to a stop. Sitting up around you, you see crates of ores and gems and precious metals just stacked up by the dozens, waiting to be delivered. Y'all get out. They got shit to do. And you can see workers coming over carrying crates, waiting to use the wagon that you were just in.
All right, Jimmy, take it easy. There's a better way to talk to us. We're leaving, all right? Thank you so much for your
My name's
discretion.
Jeremiah. Jeez.
Can't see shit in these mines. My bad, Jeremiah.
You can see that Jeremiah gives you a good hard look in your mail and cloak of office.
I give him a hard look right back.
You fit in better around here when you ain't wearing that shit.
Yubei just walks between them.
Is it
Like-
is it black?
like-
Is it like dark black in here, or are there lights? Like what's our
So looking
surroundings
around,
look like?
there are oil lanterns lit in
Okay.
varying intervals here. Or now.
Right. Well, we best not be in their way then. Melee, do you know the way from here?
About that time,
Yeah, do that.
you don't. You have no idea. But about that time, coming stomping up the lane, walking along the rail that you can see almost like an old steam engine rail set a little too wide so that the slots on the wagon wheels can lock into them. You see Chetland. Having taken off his robe and wearing just simple miner's garb that more than likely he was just wearing underneath because of how disheveled it all is. His mutton chops, braided, have been tucked into a leather apron and almost seem to radiate in their own glow, denoting his Cinderfolk heritage. I asked the boy this, but I'm gonna ask you now. You got a death wish?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
No, Chetland, I don't have a death wish. Do you?
No, but you damn near tried to today. Shit. Y'all already caused a heap of trouble for me and mine. It's gonna take a while to smooth this over.
I know. And I owe you whatever you want, you tell me, but I'll be in your debt for a while, and I understand that.
I've had to lay one boy off for a week without pay for knocking out one of those damn seeker. He just
I
kind of
can work in your
trails off.
mine. Chetland, don't start.
No, but you owe his family a bottle, if you know what I mean.
I'll bring two. Don't you worry.
Oh, don't worry, he's gonna get paid. And the boy ain't getting out of work, that's for sure. But your former friends think that he is anyway. All right. Here's the skinny. And he pats his belly. Y'all gonna do something for me now. And it's on your way, so it ain't exactly like it's hardship for you. I mentioned that those tunnels been shut down for a while. All right, that was only a couple hours ago. Y'all remember that, right? It wasn't a week. It was just a couple hours.
We remember.
It felt like a week, but yes, I remember.
Actually, since I think I met you, my life has gone slower. It seems like it drags on.
That makes two of us. But a couple of weeks before we shut that mine down, these strange green crystals started growing out the walls. Just geodes, gemstones, like nothing we'd ever seen before. Fragile as all hell. You smash them and they go out, but you let them get big enough, they start glowing. And then some of the boys started going missing. And so, you're gonna do me a favor, Mangosi, what the fuck's down there?
You asked me if I had a death wish, and you're sending us to go check on your folk that have gone missing?
Who was it with me that went underground and found the fucking like bodies under Balcav? Was it Mist or Selu?
I think that was missed, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I look up at Mist and I'm like, always underground, always in the dark.
It has become a theme.
Oh, then you've got plenty of experience with this. Marvelous.
Remember the time we fought the giant centipede that ate Mello?
And then there were the creepy spider creatures in.
There was the cannibalistic ghoulish creatures we beheaded
yes,
and took back. And
Mist almost died that time.
yeah.
And
Is-
that time.
Is there any time that I didn't almost die?
You know,
Yeah,
you
every
gotta
time that you didn't die, Reese almost died.
Ah, okay.
I mean, when we fought the Tofurkeys, it was underground too.
That's true.
Y'all have had quite the adventure.
This is why forests are better than caves.
No, we did not have good luck with forests either. Remember the guardians,
See,
And
and the plants that tried to kill us.
The plants.
I think we still have a better track record with forests than caves. I'm just saying.
Shetland breaks in and says, "You see, forests are dangerous.
The
They're
giant
safer
bear."
underground."
the bugs in that little bog in that forest that tried to kill us.
And then the what were the gorilla things called?
The
The
Gorlons.
gorillas that tried to kill us.
The Garolons that tried to chase Mist.
Mist almost died that time too.
Please stop talking about the time I almost died.
I believe, didn't Kai have sex with a lycanthrope in the forest?
No, that
That
wasn't
sounds like a very
that,
safe place then.
that was not in the forest.
Oh.
That was in her
It
house.
was in the town before we
need
went
get
to the
back there. You're
forest.
betrothed to her now, right?
I don't know what that means.
So, Shetland breaks in once again and says, "Listen, it's on the way. You gotta go down this damn tunnel anyway, so you might as well look around, see if you see anything."
Well, we certainly owe you for your help so far. So whatever we can
I'm
do.
glad somebody has some sense in their head.
I try to once in a while.
All right, well, keep it up. You're okay.
Is there any reason
Thanks.
I need to continue wearing this face?
No.
Oh, thank you. God's.
Selu and Melly, roll an insight check.
I was just waiting for Mist to be like, "Oh, thank God," and like transform himself into just like a skeleton face. Where he just looked like he just ripped his face off.
Face is unnecessary.
His face is so
minor illusion.
I'm sorry, I'm
I'm
rolling
18
an insight. Yes.
Yes, please.
Not my best roll, but 13.
Okay. Melly, and I'd say Sailor, you'll pick this up too. As Chetland is saying, well, at least one of you's got sense, and turns to you and then looks at you. And that's when Chetland trailed off and said, yeah. And turned back to Melly. And realized who was talking and redirected himself.
We don't like your kind around here.
That's first. That had not happened before.
I'll just put my hand on Salu's shoulder. Well, Chitlin, we do owe you. You know, I like just giving you a hard time. Thank you.
Wait, before you go, you don't have any other information you can give us about what we're walking into down here?
Well, last time I went down there myself, I found half a dwarf.
Which half?
The bottom.
It is an important
I love
question.
how he didn't even hesitate with the answer. It's just like the fact that you asked which half, he was just like, yeah, this is the bottom half, fucking immediately.
Could have been the left half or the right half.
Right.
There's so many options.
What
But
about
everything of value was taken.
That's strange.
And my boys always carry gold chits on them or copper. They gamble all the damn time. But
What about the state of the mind? Is it stable?
Well, he said lower half. I get the state of the mind was eaten.
it should be. Support beams looked fine last I saw. But when you get there, there's a cavern you gotta go down. That's where it gets a little iffy. But there are two tunnels go straight down. Go down a couple hundred feet. They're naturally occurring. They'll both get you down near the sanctuary. But after that, I can't tell you what the tunnels are like. There's one, if you follow the vent, you'll find a crack in the wall with blue light. You'll know where you are. You're muted, Sean.
No, I was talking to myself. Thank you, though.
As long as you don't answer yourself, you're fine.
Right.
Chetland, have you, and you ain't seen what's happening down there, but the disappearance of your miners and these green gems are about the same?
That's when we shut it down.
Why didn't you tell no one about this? You've been suffering by yourself?
Oh, I ain't suffered none. And you can see it's a total, like, false face. He's not even trying at this point. I ain't suffered none. Feel bad for them boys that didn't make it out, but kind of trails off a little. But when you follow those shafts down, those naturally occurring tunnels, they're almost smooth. They were probably a magma tunnel at some point. But when you get to the bottom, it'll open out, and there will be a vent tunnel that leads into the heart of the mountain from there. I wouldn't go too far down that way. It gets real hot real quick. But you'll know where you're at when you get there.
Is any of this ringing a bell to Selu or me?
For what? From what?
From the smooth tunnels and him talking about the heat and things being eaten.
Certain thing that we ran into very, very early on.
Literally session 1 with
Session
for Selu and
zero.
I. Session 0, yeah.
Well, there are similarities.
Okay.
Okay. So, should probably tell them about that.
Shetland, was there anyone unaccounted for so far that just didn't make it back? Or have you found remains for everyone that went missing?
Gabe?
I'm thinking.
Just seeing if we need to keep an eye out for anyone down there.
No, anybody that... There was only one who was unaccounted for. But I don't think we'll ever find her at this point. It's been years.
Do I know who Chetland is talking about?
All of this happened shortly after we got our last cargo out, if you know what I mean. About a year.
That's it's good to know. I wonder what's causing all the trouble.
Me too.
We'll come back with answers, Chetland.
We'll find out.
Listen, follow. If you look up here, and he points up at the ceiling, and you see where the stone is carved into an arch to provide a structural support for a section of mine shaft. you can see that they're done at intervals. And there's a small section that juts off to the left that is done. The columns are even closer intervals in the smaller mines. Well, you see here, there's markings this way, and you still read Dwarvish, right?
Of course I do.
All right. Well, you can read 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Listen, you're looking for Keglin's Run. It's number 14, I think. Should jet off to the left. There'll be a big sign and a wooden barricade in front of it that says "Mine Closed." But if you see something called Keglin's Run, that's what you're looking for. After that, it's mostly a straight shot. No offshoot tunnels, but some loop-de-loos and whatnot. You might wind up back where you started kind of thing, but you ain't got to worry about getting too lost.
Sounds easy enough. Is there Chetland, is there like a cardinal direction we should be following? And if you have a spare compass, if those exist in this world.
This close to the mountain, ain't nothing like that working.
That's not the first time Mealee's asked for that, right?
A compass?
Yeah, that's not the first time, because I honestly remember this exact same conversation, or I'm losing my mind.
I mean, maybe a little column A.
Asking for a compass?
Was there a compass item that we got at some point? Like somebody has a compass, maybe? I can't remember.
I don't know why. I swear we've had the same conversation with Melee of her asking someone for a compass, or I just had a wicked case of deja vu.
There was a conversation about a compass in beer.
They've changed something in the Matrix.
Yep.
Meow. Oh no.
The little cat's collar says deja vu.
I would not be surprised, but yes, I'll chalk it up to deja vu. Because I swear I just relived that exact same moment.
You're an oracle.
All right.
You guys ever catch the part where he has to accept a cookie before he gets the prophecy from the oracle?
Yeah.
Like you have to accept cookies to like use a program.
Did not put that together, but that's cool.
Yep.
I didn't put that together.
Don't worry,
I
Derek.
saw that the other day. It was not an original thought, but I was just like, holy shit, that's fucking cool.
Don't worry, Derek, I
I
followed.
thought you were making like a MySpace era joke of like, come to the dark side, we have cookies, and I was like, where's this going?
MySpace page.
So, Chetland gives you instructions on how to find Keglin's Run, which is the mine shaft that goes down and down and down deeper towards where the sanctuary is that's been closed.
Sounds like a pretty lengthy shaft.
Well, it's plenty of time for our penis.
Oh, we have to find Kegel's Run?
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh, that broke me.
What the fuck?
Leave it up to your players to pervert all the names.
Yeah.
Good thing we have an ass seeker with us, right?
You do not. So, as you all stand there and start to gather your things, Chetland grabs your arm at the elbow, Melly, and kind of pulls you close as if to say something quietly. Hey, be careful with that one. Nodding towards Selu. Seems there were some violence down at Cinderhome recently with more than one of them.
Chetland, I ain't know these folk for very long, but I can tell you that they're good people. And just a little bit more information. They're helping me too, because I think the folks that attacked the sanctuary all those years ago, I think they're back.
There's a almost rocking back on his heels.
It's thanks to these folks that I know this, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, alright? No one's getting hurt on my watch.
And he starts kind of getting a little teary-eyed. I don't want to see nothing happen to you. You be careful.
You too, Chetland. You know me. I'm hard to kill. I'll give him a little wink.
Stubborn as a fucking mountain. Stands there and looks at all of you quietly. Until somebody in further up the mine shaft shouts and it kind of catches him. He just nods at you all and turns and heads back the way you came, leaving you all in the quiet of the guild mines. Wrong track there.
Didn't sound like bad mine music.
Right. So, Millie, you understand where we need to go then?
Yeah, I've got the directions, and fingers crossed that we don't end up running into whatever's been killing those miners. But
Thought
also,
that's
I'd like
what
to
he
bump
wanted
into
us to.
it. Well, yeah, of course, but if we see it, great, we'll kill it. If we don't, also great. We can get to the sanctuary in one piece.
It would be nice to find it on our own terms. I understand what you're saying.
Sailor, did it sound familiar to you what he was describing?
A little bit, but
There was this strange snake creature that Selu and I fought when we first met.
right. Oh, what were they called? Oh, I'll remember in a bit. But they live in mountains. Tend to.
It was resistant to fire. Do I remember correctly?
Yeah, that had a lot of that going on its own accord. But it's if I remember correctly, it eats gems, precious metals. It actually had quite a lot that was in it that we found after we managed to kill it. But
it was a Mardoric.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know if we knew what it was called, did we?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I had a history check of like something or other of having heard of them before.
You mentioned that the finding gems in its belly when I carved the pearl out of the drake.
Yes,
Drake.
That's right.
Yeah. And this thing, did it burrow tunnels? Did it?
They normally would live in more mountainous areas, so a mine wouldn't be a hard stretch. Certainly not one close to a volcano, I wouldn't think.
And the fact that those miners were found without any of their valuables.
It would make sense, but for there to only have been a bottom half of a dwarf, I think it would have had to have been a lot larger than what we saw.
Yes, we have something to look forward to.
In your previous travels and researches, you did recall that those creatures tend to be very solitary, and tend to avoid conflict. The fact that you ran into that one was because its mind had been disturbed. Where it was living had been disturbed in that nearby hill.
I don't know if that makes sense for this or not, but there's certainly some kind of similarities around that, at least. But we'll have to see. I don't think those are normally that violent.
Seemed pretty violent to me.
Well, you would be too if your home got messed up, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, ask the giants.
It's a fair point. Just keep an eye out for things. If nothing else, the way the tunnels might have been burrowed or something could be something
the dwarves
similar.
are too greedy and dug too deep.
You know what they found in the dark. So
Best keep our eyes peeled. Jubei, do you need a torch?
Who said that?
I'll take that as a yes. There's a rustle into a pack. And I mean, it's still light in the nearby area, but a torch comes out, and there is almost a flash of color across Selu's eyes, and the torch lights. And they hand it to Jubei.
Melly, do you have dark vision?
That's what I was checking, and I don't think I do.
I don't think you do.
Anyone else? I know you two are fine. Melly, how do you do in the dark?
Can't see shit.
Selu grabs another torch, lights it off of Jubei's, hands it to her.
I've only got fire in my eyes, so this is going to be very helpful. Thank you.
Mist starts to pull out the lantern, but likes the idea of having fire around, and decides to leave it up to the torches for now.
Sounds good.
Well, Melly, do you want to take point with me? We'll keep an eye out for things.
Let's go, and I'll take my greatsword out, and we'll just walk out with my greatsword and my torch.
Sounds good. So, as you all descend down into the mountain, the slope of the tunnel begins to gently curve downward and downward until you're at almost a 10-degree slope, constant, down, down. But that steady 51, 52 degree temperature remains. But the pressure is almost claustrophobic, even though the walls of this main tunnel are close to 30 feet tall at their peak. While you journey down, is there anything anyone would like to do over the next few hours? Remember, it is late into the day.
Actually, Selu would like to have a conversation up at the front with Melly a little bit as we are taking our trek down. I wanted to ask you, what you did that helped Mist sleep. How you did that is a broader question than I want, but how do you do what you do? How did you manage that?
You asking about my arcane abilities?
Well, what did you focus on? How did it work?
Normally, when I do anything that is arcane, it comes out of the protection of folks. My desire and commitment to taking care of people and protecting them. And oftentimes it manifests in an arcane sort of way.
But you seemed like you had a specific intent behind that. You knew what you were doing. It wasn't something just happened.
Well, that ritual in particular is something that my father, he was a seeker as well. But his commitment was to the people, and he spent a lot of his time taking care of the tieflings down in the sanctuary and giving them a sense of peace, at least for a little bit. So he taught me some rituals, and our intention is what really powers it.
I see. Okay.
I don't need all the honey and sugar, but it's a fun little process.
It did make it pretty nice. Thank you.
Of course. What about you? Where you come from? I noticed when we first met that you were doing different things that I don't think I've seen folks do around here.
We all kind of are figuring out a lot as we go. Where I come from in the Terran, magic hasn't been a thing. It's been around for a good long while.
And Melly, you know that is the same on your end of the world too. The rites and rituals of your order are fairly unique amongst the lands.
I didn't even know that I was doing it for most of my life. And when I decided to see more of the world, I've kind of, with the help of my friends, learned a lot as I went. A lot of focus and intent, so to speak. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't necessarily know everything what I or Kai or or Mist. I don't know what any of us can do. Jubei doesn't seem to have much in the way of use of magic. But we're all learning a lot as we go here. So it's always interesting to see what someone else takes of it.
I think you're right. It is about intention, and I believe anyone has the capabilities of it if they put in the effort. Can't never could, right?
That's interesting. Maybe so. Our friend Reese, he had quite a lot that he was good at, and they'll pull the card back out of where they had proffered it into a sleeve earlier, including use of these. Or he was learning to. He had a deck just like it. It's uncanny how
Your
the
friend
same
Reese
this
was
is.
a mystic?
He was a witch. At least that's what they called him.
A studious one, then, I presume.
He was a healer first. But I don't know. These cards showing up again has me a little rattled. I'll be honest. It was anywhere else we've traveled, I've not seen anything else that's so uncannily similar.
May I ask what happened to your friend, Reese?
He
Why he ain't traveling with y'all anymore?
he needed to take care of some things back in his homeland. He spoke to me the other morning at your house, actually.
For a little clarification, that was this morning.
This morning. Sorry, I thought we had a day in between there.
What a long day.
Yeah.
Like it's 2 weeks long or something.
Jeez.
Your friend is the one that sent you that message then, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
It's quite the power to be able to communicate that far.
As you're chatting, you look up and you see the number 13 emblazoned on the arch ahead. So you know the next tunnel you come to will be your destination.
All right, y'all, we're close. So don't stray.
Right then. Maybe we'll pay a little closer attention then. Thank you again, Melly.
Selu, as Melly looks up and your eyes drift up to the dwarven runes muddled together on the beam above you, carved into the stone, you swear you hear the hammering of hammer on chisel on stone, drifting on the wind. And the runes almost fuzz a little bit. And if you choose to, you might be able to focus on them and understand them.
Selu will stop for a second and take a deep breath and just pause in the very still air of the mine and focus for a brief moment. It starts to make sense. They're not going to take a lot of time right now, but they'll note that. And keep an eye out for any more dwarvish as they go.
Selu, are you alright?
I'm okay. Just listening. I'm coming.
Keep walking.
Selu, you glance up at the runes above you and you swear in just the briefest of moments you see Nasir's find, and you blink and it's just a jumble of runes.
There's a smile that starts to break across on Selu's face. And they keep moving on, looking for more and more, and noting it as we go.
Awesome. Well, as you all continue on, the next large archway that appears Melly reads 14, Keglin's Run, and is a left-hand turn.
Well, we made it. And he said that there was like, it was boarded up.
And as you get there, you look down the tunnel, and there are a bunch of very haphazardly, like barely wedged in there, wooden boards that look like they were parts of crates that were just broken and laying around. And painted on them, haphazardly in grease, says "Keep out."
Is there? I'd hate to ruin Chetlin's fine work, but is there like a hole or anything, or are we gonna have to
No.
like break it down to get through? Okay.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, Chetlin, I'll come back and fix this, and I'll take a swing at it to break it.
Are you using your greatsword?
I am.
Okay. Drawing the blade of the greatsword, there's a familiar weight and feel and comfort that comes with it, and a little bittersweet memory too. And it's been a while since you've wielded this thing, so please make an attack roll.
Yeah. $22.
22. Like putting on comfortable boots that are well worn and well loved. And with a single swing, the boards creak and shatter inwards, revealing a dark tunnel, barely 10 feet across, that just goes into the blackness.
If anyone's looking at me while I smash the boards, I let out like this really loud exhale, like a and I'll like move it from hand to hand.
Love it.
And then just put it back in. But like give it a little tap before I continue to move forward.
Wonderful.
Mist has again bumped into the person in front of him as he's still not paying attention as we're walking down, as the boards shatter. Oh, they certainly know we're here now. That is an impressive piece of metal.
Thank you, it was my father's.
Must have been a big dude.
He was quite large, yeah.
You wield it very deftly. I'll be behind you.
Don't worry, Mist. I'll take care of whatever's coming our way. And you can see that like I'm feeling very like I have a different tone now. I'm feeling very confident after having used my sword.
Wonderful. You all descend further and further and further. And the mine shaft reveals small pockets where ore and minerals were removed, until eventually weariness takes you. And you all rest safely through a long rest. And then rise in the morning.
See, it's not so bad down here.
Continuing on. So the darkness greets the lot of you. Some of you have black screens because you're blind in this darkness. So what sort of light source are we using?
I'm carrying a torch.
All right.
If the torches from yesterday have burnt out, we could use the lantern again. I just like the idea of having the fire accessible if we needed it.
I've got a few more torches if we need it.
Torches
I'd appreciate one.
Perhaps that can be carried for you, so that you can keep your both hands on the sword. And
Yeah,
Mist will
I'd
offer to
appreciate
hold your torch for you as he respectfully stands behind you.
Let me
Certainly
light
not
you.
cowering behind you.
that.
Let me light you up here.
I do only have one more left after those two, so past a point. There's only so many more torches to go around unless anyone else has any.
I didn't bring any, but I'm sure that we can grab some on the way out of the sanctuary.
Missed your. Oh. Hang on. You said you're behind Melly, right?
Yes. Yep.
You are carrying a torch, yes?
Yes.
And I'll just keep my sword unsheathed. She is out.
Wonderful. All right.
Just for what it's worth, Selu would have offered to take the last watch on the night and been up early. And as others start to rise and wake up, they are keeping an eye out, but are pretty well just staring at the card and seeming like they're in a pretty deep contemplation about a great many things. But they'll put the card away as everyone else starts to wake up and blink their eyes like they hadn't done so in a while. Help everybody get ready.
So. The tunnels lie before you.
Oh god. I will take point
Okay.
since I brought y'all here.
And your vision should be fairly accurate, so with not having much light going on. As you all get to there, you see two small side tunnels, and there's various bags and bins of supplies lying around untouched. The damp underground air eating away at crates and bags. But as you progress just a little bit further, you begin to see a glow from the chamber to your right.
The blue light?
And ahead. Yep.
Wait, what color was it, Gabe?
It's green.
Okay, she asked if it was
Oh,
blue.
Gotcha.
These-
Teal-ish.
Because
It
I
is
remember...
definitively different from things you have experienced before.
Okay, cool.
This is gorgeous, but it looks like perhaps the things that we should be looking out for that are bad.
I don't know if
Yeah,
he said they were bad. They were just strange.
Well,
And
I think
fragile.
if we remember, we're underground. It's all bad.
They accompanied people disappearing and getting eaten, so I'm going to say they're bad.
Well, something did that. I don't know if it was the green stones, but they all seemed to happen around the same time, I guess.
Can I go up to it and touch it and like do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
As she was doing that, I would like to use my magic awareness.
Absolutely.
So close to that 20, but it wasn't. It was a 14.
Okay, with a 14, these crystals, as soon as you go up and touch it, the piece you touch cracks and breaks off and immediately loses its luster. as if no longer glowing from an inner light. And this pale green crystal in your hand, you can crush it with your bare hands.
I will. I'll turn it into like a dust.
Okay.
Since
And,
when did
like, look
Melly
at
get
it.
bare hands?
They're just going around, man.
This is bullshit.
So from where you're standing high, you channel your magical awareness and looking around, there's nothing magical. Let me rephrase that. There is nothing enchanted about these things, these crystal growths. There is a faint feeling like grass under your feet. A faint feeling of something that has grown, but not innately magical in its own right. Does that make sense? You do, however, look at Millie as you glance around, and the strong feeling of magic emanating from items that she carries about her person. And one document I didn't have open was yours. Okay, so looking at Mellie's hand as she crushes the crystal, there is a ring on her finger. What does your ring look like?
It is made of it's gold, and it's kind of like in a diamond shape, and it's on my middle finger, and it has just like a large but not excessively sized like ruby in the center. But yeah, it's in like the shape of a diamond. It almost looks like a doily, a gold doily around a,
I love
a
it.
diamond-shaped ruby.
And as you look at it, you feel the familiar heft of a shield in your hand as you charge towards the enemy.
Okay.
And as you see the great sword on her back, you feel your heart pounding. Ooh. And around her neck, the little bee necklace that she wears and fiddles with occasionally is that same tense heartbeat. And there's a faintest feeling of that static, like lightning on a storm,
From what?
from the necklace.
Okay.
And as you glance around at these crystals, they emanate no additional light. It feels to you, channeling in the way that your background would derive, it feels to you a lot like grass that has grown tall under a warm sun.
I don't know what that means. like
As you are,
like it's been cultivated? Like
it is wild, and it is created from the presence of something, but not innately magical in of itself.
okay.
Could I by chance get a nature check on this stone?
Absolutely.
Can y'all tell me if this is poisonous? As I stare at it in my hands.
Most
Oh,
definitely,
like,
yes.
By the way, you would see Kai has like a tattoo of an eye around his eye that is like lit up currently, and he said, "Well, it's not magical."
Oh, that's a fun little trick. Thank you.
Perhaps put it in here instead of in your hand, and Mist holds a glass vial out for you to dump the dust into.
How much of this to kill someone?
So, Selu.
With Kai having said that it's not magical, Selu will do similar to Melly and break off a piece and kind of give it a feel and a sniff, and that is a total of a 24 on the nature check, 18 on the die.
Interesting. As you're holding this in your hand, the feeling of being close to nature is always hard when you're deep underground. Growing up in the forests and the wilds, even in the smaller caves that you have explored in the past, this far underground feels almost disconnected. Yet when you hold this crystal in your hand, even the inert, broken off, no longer glowing chunk in your hand, you get a sense of wild, of growth exploded and pushed, vibrant, like a jungle bloom forced too early.
Do I get any notion off of this, like certain bioluminescent mushrooms that we found previously?
Negative.
Okay.
Very different.
Okay.
Elias, Mist holds the vial out for you to dump the powder into, and then sees Saley takes on. Why do we keep touching this thing? We don't know what it is. And he will walk away from you, but the vial will still be floating there as if held by a hand.
Like how Mist was the one who said that.
Well, Mist is the only one who has learned this lesson the hard way several times, apparently.
And will again, probably.
Probably. And on that note, Mist goes over to the large chunk over here that seems to be broken off. Is the large chunk still glowing once broken off?
Yes, it is. But as you get close and look at it, you realize that it is almost rooted through the ruins of the crate into the ground.
This grew through the box.
And you can pull at the box. The box is deteriorated.
No stone should grow that fast. He said this has only been how long?
I think he said a year.
Well, how long did you? It was a year after you smuggled Zelvin out.
Yeah.
Was when he closed the mine. So it's been 70, 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been longer than I thought.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Yes.
With your incredibly high passive perception, you hear what you can only describe as rock moving, like sliding, grinding, coming from the tunnel above you and off to that direction.
There's something up ahead. Something moving.
Should we stop fiddling with the rocks then and continue?
Takes his place back behind you again. Did you put the powder in the vial?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Miss would stop it and put it. The hand would put it in the bag for him.
Saylu's gonna do one last thing real quick just to see kind of what happens. And they're gonna break off like a hand size chunk off of whatever's nearby, and then set the broken part like back down on the undisturbed ground just to see if it does anything different or if it really needs to be like reconnected back to the piece. And if that does nothing, they'll hold it back up where they broke it off.
Neither do anything.
Okay. Just curious. Right then. Kai, what did you hear? What is it?
There's something moving.
And
Should I go check on it? I can scout.
well, Saylu will take a step up, kind of up by Kai, and kind of put a hand up towards Millie. A few of us might be able to see a little better without the torch, just a little distance. Do you want me to go look? Or mist?
I will go.
Herendron, you still have your torch, right?
I wasn't carrying a torch, but
Oh,
I have dark
I
vision.
have
But
a
is there
torch.
any? Are the gems up ahead emanating light?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll,
because I
What
was
you
gonna say I
see?
can go with you. If
What
you
you
want.
see is accurate.
okay.
The reason you can see that far out, even at that angle, is because of the light emanating from the gems.
So wait, Melly said I can come with you.
Mhm.
I look down, like, intentionally at your plate mail, and I go, shh, and then I go off by myself.
These dang things! I knew I should have worn something different.
Do I know where the sound? Do I still hear the sound? Do I know where it came from once I get to here?
So when you get to there, you hear the sound coming from your left, from down this way. But the wild thing is you swear you see the wall, this wall, almost close, meld together like mud.
Creepy. I just want to go another like 10 feet down. Does the sound continue?
The moment that Kai is out of sight, Saylu is going to step forward to keep Kai at least like slightly in sight.
Okay. So Kai, as you step up there, the sound is gone.
At that point, I'll turn back around and then run into Sailor.
Did you see anything?
I can't describe. It was like the stone was closing.
Like it was.
Like there was a hole, and then there is no longer a hole.
Show me where.
We should be careful.
We will, but let me see.
It was here, this wall.
remembering back to where stone had been shifted and kind of molded back over to cover a space where the crystal was before, the on the Harpy Island. Looking at the space that Kai is pointing out, does it look like something similar here may have happened? I'd really like to look really, really close at the area to see if anything looks as though something similar might be at play.
Looks like stone. Looks like perfectly normal, natural stone.
Hmm.
Selu, roll a spell casting ability check for me.
Oh, okay. Man, apparently I'm rolling well tonight. Just flat ability modifier.
Flat ability modifier.
21.
Reaching up and putting your hand on the stone, and it's just normal stone, and turning and looking. There's an itch in the back of your teeth that you can't quite explain or describe. It's as if everything is wrong. The crystals aren't right. It's hard to describe. There's this feeling, this gut in the back of your jaw, buzzing feeling of otherness everywhere around you now. And your close touch with nature and constant perception of the world around you being the only reason you caught it. You do also feel a warm draft of air coming from the tunnel above you that leads downward.
Okay. Getting a gist of something off about this, and after the conversation with Melly yesterday, Selu is going to look at Kai and say, I want to try something. And they'll close their eyes, and as they do, the tattoo on their forehead will begin a soft glow, and they'll open their eyes, and like has been seen a couple other times, when that tattoo particularly glows, their eyes open to a much more intense like flash of amber. And I would like to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Interesting. Nothing resonates. Good or evil, hallowed, undead, fiend, fae, nothing.
Elemental?
Elemental is a slightly different story.
Say elemental, aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you is the spell description.
You're standing on it.
Like a specific spot, or it's everywhere?
Like you're standing on it.
Like if I
Like-
step to the
like-
side, I won't be on it.
Correct. I'm gonna screenshot this so I can share it later.
Sailor will immediately step to the left.
What? No, it was right here.
No, there's something right there, and they'll point down at the ground.
Kai steps back like Sailor did. Look.
Jubei looks down. It's rock.
It's corn.
Jubei, Melly, and Mist, have you caught up? Or are you still in the other chamber?
Mist is right behind Melly. Wherever
I
Melly goes.
haven't moved because I'm loud. I was told to stay here.
Okay.
Jude, okay. Well, I thought I was best. I didn't realize Selu had left, so no, I'm standing in the same chamber as Melee and Mist because,
Okay.
Jubei's used to being loud.
It's just your choice of fashion, is all.
So, as you pan back to us, so Melee, there I was, and it was this fantastically large bear, and I had cut its ankles, keep it from running several times. Kai threw a javelin and finished it off, but I was able to slow the bear down so he could make the killing shot. He'll tell the
Y'all
story.
have a special bond.
No, do they?
Sounds exactly like how it happened.
Delu, how long does that spell last?
10 minutes.
Okay. You feel the presence moving away from you towards the lip.
Kai, it's moving. And Sailor will follow this direction.
We should get the others. And I'll whistle back to the group.
And Sailor will continue on towards the ledge.
Okay. Looking into the abyss stares back.
So
As-
pretty.
As you glance over the edge, Melly, Jubei, Mist catching up around the corner. Now we're all on top of each other.
Right.
Looking down, you feel that presence slide around the side of the tunnel and begin to rise. Before it does, however, Melly, the grating sound of rock sliding about makes perfect sense to you. Why our home? Why our home?
Dr. Claw?
Am I familiar with whatever this is?
The sounds of rumbling punctuate and roll in a manner of a language you learned a long time ago. It's something you were taught in the hold years and years and years ago. Your primordial is very rusty.
Can I respond?
I see you, Selu.
Okay, thank you.
As you start to speak, Selu, the reverberations and the echoes start to cut through, and that warm draft of wind rolling up beneath you blows back some of your locks that have come out of that single braid down the side, very Katniss braid going on. And a few locks have come loose, and the warm air flutters it, and the rumble starts to make sense. Why are home?
Sorry. Not intruders. Safe passage, please.
What languages do you speak in?
In primordial, so I'm just like
I don't know why I'm picturing to the primordials. This sounds like Brad's Pitt character in Inglorious Bastards taking a dive.
Gorlami. Buongiorno.
Thelu, this language that has never come up, never been relevant in your life, suddenly fills your mind as the wind blows through. As emerging from the rock on the side of the cavern, it's almost like the rock blinks and an eye opens. And the rock peels away like a zipper, and a giant stone-clawed hand comes out. And then a third. And the body begins to roll out of the stone, leaving the stone behind as if it has flown through water. And this is what you see. Why are home? And that's where we'll come back after break.
Yeah.
He looks so friendly.
I know, I was about to be like, oh, aren't you a cute one?
Look at all those teeth he gets to smile with.
That'll be a creature for Raven's bedtime story.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
All right, friends, we'll be back here in totally just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Real soon. All right. Back in a few.
No.
We
Red card,
absolutely,
no.
we absolutely could name him Jason Zorn.
Gabe, it's in chat.
Uh,
All right. Well, returning back to the kinship and their friend Melly, as we hang out in this cavern
with
with a
Smiley.
creature that has just emerged from the wall. As its
Very cute.
mouth moves, the teeth move in almost a rolling motion set on the top of its torso as three elongated limbs come out, both above and below, as someone gets food delivered live on the internet with the most interesting
I
dance.
just loved him like
Hi,
dance
Griff.
sneaking his way in.
I was not paying attention. I was not looking at my camera,
The
and that scared the
best.
absolute fuck out of me.
That was amazing.
That's some DoorDash service right there.
So,
Zorn delivers you food.
so Griff is now a Zorn. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, as this creature emerges, its rocky hide, you immediately notice, is dotted with crystals. Small green and blue and red and purple crystals seem to grow across its hide.
Would you say he's a Zorn with crystals?
Nope, I would not. So, in Primordial, you hear the voice, "Why our home? Why our home?"
When you say that there are crystals adorning the Zorn, are any of them the
I can see
green
Bill breaking.
the green crystals that we see about, or are they different?
At a quick glance, roll a perception check for me.
Quick
Oh,
glance, make a quick
no.
glance.
Oh no. Okay, I have an inspiration point. I'm going to use it because I don't want the rule of Jacob to apply. Wow. So that's a 2 instead.
Let the rule
Because
of Jacob apply.
the fates have decided that I mock them, so they mock me back.
Not only do you use your inspiration point, but you don't.
I
get
don't get
one.
another one back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a grand total of 9.
Okay. With a
Can
9,
I-
it's hard to tell.
Can I roll? Because I want to respond. Well, I already responded, but I want to
What is it you are trying to accomplish?
to see if the crystals on its bodies are the same as the ones that we were touching not too long ago.
Okay. I will allow it. This will be the last one that I allow in this moment.
Oh wait, can Miss do it? Teasing.
15.
Okay. With a 15, your innate connection with the mountain that you are deep within now, your own body being blessed by or born of the mountain, gives you a keener sense for this sort of thing deep within the earth than others might expect. And there is a definite similarity, though the colors are different. The greenish
I like the way
crystals,
you accessorize.
the greenish crystals in the wall are not the same color, but they do appear to have some similarities in shape and texture.
I do say I like how you accessorize to the Zorn. Does it respond to that or to what I said previously of just saying like not intruders, safe passage, please?
There doesn't appear to be a response at this point. And it just repeats, "Why our home?"
I'll look to Selu. I don't think this is much of a chatty creature.
Selu will look back at the creature after checking in with Melly and look back around at the crystals and proffer a hand down towards them. And as they speak, there's a reverberation that almost seems to happen instead of words coming out of their mouth. Like the air currents themselves are distorting. And a similar sound of that gravelly rock on rock sound comes out instead. And
Kai looks shocked as fuck. Like you start talking and he's like,
Oh yeah, the look on Mist face is as he stares at Jubei in disbelief at this conversation that's going on.
And Selu kind of gestures towards the crystals. Are these wrong? Should they be here?
Wrong. Not home. Why are here?
We don't know. But we might be able to find out. And that rumbling cacophony continues as Selu speaks. Can we help?
The creature sinks into the stone, as if descending beneath a pool of water. The stone wall closes behind it, seamless, as if it was never there.
do I hear that same sound?
Yes. And then it emerges on the rock ledge across from you, closer.
Why are small home not?
Crystal clear right there.
Selu looks back over towards Melly. And then we'll point past Melly towards Mist and say, we're helping our friend. We need to pass through to help.
Why help, friend?
Because home.
Home stone gone.
Us home friends.
Rudagon. Gemstone gone.
Was home taken?
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Ooh, that's good. That's a 16 on the die for a total of 24.
You see its 3 clawed limbs kind of curl in towards the mouth just a little bit, almost like a protective manner.
Home. Gate. Stone gone. Door through.
Sailor looks back towards the group again. And speaking in common towards Melly, are you understanding this? I think I am. This seems, but I want to make sure I'm not the only one. Is anyone else getting this?
I understand what they're saying, but it wasn't quite receptive to what I was saying. It's responding to you really well.
Is it speaking in primordial, Gabe?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, guys like sitting there like I don't know fucking.
Are you over intimidated? Are you winning?
I think I'm learning. Um, I know we have things we need to do, but something seems wrong. I think it needs help. How much of a hurry are we in? And they look directly towards Melly.
I'm in no rush. I mean, this creature seems distressed. Its home is gone. I'm not quite understanding what it's asking.
Mist. As you're standing there looking at this thing, you start to feel an itch in the back of your teeth. And everything around you feels swimmy and upside down for just a moment. And you feel like you're falling. Step, catch yourself. Please roll a wisdom saving throw.
You get +4 because of my aura.
Nice.
Perfect.
Sailor, what is it saying? Did you ask it about? Is this the thing that took the miners?
I think its home has been disrupted or maybe corrupted by this stone or something. I'm.
What do you got, Mist?
A +4 takes that to a 10.
Okay.
Shit.
As you stagger and stand and catch yourself, it's like walking on ice and you feel a crack form.
Mist has been absorbed in the dreams that he's had of being chased through tunnels in the mountain, and being in these tunnels has made him very quiet. So this fits.
DM,
Mm-hmm.
would I feel my ceremony on Miss gone entirely? No, it's done. Yeah.
Have a similar question, but go ahead.
In the heat of this moment, Melly, there's not really anything you notice. I will say, in the morning, as you were preparing for the day's journeys, you could feel its strength waning.
Okay.
Jacob, what was your question?
I was going to ask if there was anything visible of Mist in this moment, or if Mist is just sitting there.
Kind of stumbles a little bit. Other than that, I don't know. Mist, what do you do?
It's hard to tell if he just got too close to the edge and heard the call of the void for a second, or if there's something internal going on. But Mist definitely swayed for a moment and then righted himself and kind of shook his head.
Okay. Well, seeing an action happen from Mist as Selu is kind of turned that direction anyway, talking with Melly and the group, and with the spell still active for detect good and evil, did I notice anything that has occurred with Mist?
I would say you would have to take your attention fully onto Mist to be able to make any sort of determination like that.
Okay.
Up to you if you want to do that.
In the moment, no. If Mist does not immediately seem more than having just stumbled, that would not pull Salo away from the conversation.
He rolled pretty stinking well on his performance check to play that off.
As he is wont to do.
I will say, adding to I'm in no rush, just being I don't know how long Mist has because I have been feeling the protection weaning.
Oh, that's great to know. I'm right here. I can hear you.
I'm not keeping anything from you, sweetheart. I'm just speaking the plain truth.
In primordial, so you can't understand it. And Sayla will turn back towards the creature and begin with a deep breath.
You see the eye kind of blinking, going back and forth very, very quickly.
With a deep breath, that reverberation kind of starts again. And they speak. Apology. Friends, home, not understand. Where your home? Where is stone? Where was stone?
As you're talking, you can tell that the creature is not paying attention. And it is looking at Jubei.
Can anyone explain to me why everyone sounds like they're doing an avalanche impersonation? And why is a Leatherfoot still looking at me?
It speaking back in common again. It seems to think something of interest about you.
I am very handsome. We already established that.
Could I try an insight check on why this thing seems locked on Jubei?
You can try.
It's not great. I mean, I have a pretty good insight. Total of 12.
Takes a 5-foot step towards Jubei. The total of 12, it's hard to say. There's a lot going on in this moment.
Jubei, um, step away from the glowing rock. I'm just curious about something.
I take a 5-foot step back.
Does anything change on what this thing seems focused on? Seems to still track Jubei.
But as Jubei kind of steps and Mist is kind of in front of him as Jubei steps at that angle. Not straight line in front, but the creature's eye shifts to Mist and almost seems to narrow.
Say, Lou, I'm getting a little nervous by your friend here.
Why is it looking at me?
Why Doorstone?
Sailor will try to respond again. What door? Where door?
And the creature's hand kind of comes down and does this in front of its eye. Then you look over at Mist and you see a crescent moon necklace hanging on Mist's chest.
God damn it, Bill. Selu will Melly, if I can, and Selu will try and push like towards Mist to try and trade spots with Melly there a little bit towards Mist, and put their hand on the necklace at Mist's neck.
Why are you touching my necklace?
It seems to know it. Is bad stone?
What is bad? Is why door?
And the word door isn't exactly right. It's like opening, threshold.
Yeah. You're saying is Y, like WHY, or is this open to me figuring that out?
It seems like a question.
The initial response to what is bad in common, Selu just goes, I wish I knew. And then back in Primordial again.
The creature reaches its arm back, not even looking, and the arm kind of goes through the rock, flowing through it like through brackish water, and pulls out a chunk of shiny, reflective silver ore and places it in its gullet and begins to eat.
Snack time.
The teeth rolling in emotion. never taking its eye off you. Very creepy.
At least it's not eating us.
Facts.
As it eats, some of the crystals embedded in its hide begin to pulse slightly.
Um, um, bad. Wrong word. More doorstone? Here?
It looks down in the hole.
Doorstone.
Doorstone cause this? And they gesture back towards the green stone.
It makes a guttural sound that you can only process as
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's any blue light that I can see from where we are?
sure.
It's probably stupid, but why not? 23.
Okay, with a 23 glancing down the tunnel, you do not see any blue light.
Down the hole?
Yep. You do, however, see little pockets of green crystals go all the way down, and you can see down to the bottom several 100-foot drop of smooth stone. Looks almost like it's been melted. And occasionally little veins of dark or light reflective patches on the wall that would denote ore of some kind.
I was looking for that vent with blue light that Chetland told us about.
With what Shetland told you about, you think that this is one of the tunnels that goes down that he talked about?
Like this is one of the cavern spots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this among others would lead you towards your destination.
Mm-hmm.
So Mist doesn't like the idea that this thing's interested in his necklace, and will instead unspool almost the blue rod of Moonsung steel that Jubei bought for him, that was in the chest, one of the four pieces from his belt loop, where it had he adorns himself with all the blue Moonsung steel he can, and will if he wants a piece, say Lou, I could offer him this one instead. I'd prefer not to part with my necklace.
He just seemed to notice it. He calls it doorstone?
Oh, so it's not like a dessert to wash down the chunk he just ate?
I'm really not sure, but I can ask him if he would want a piece of that. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. I'm not entirely sure.
You say that in common?
This is all in common. Yes, everything that I'm speaking with Mist is in common.
Didn't you say that the blue stones, large blue stones we encountered, was a rough ore version of your Moonsung steel?
Oh yes, I have some of that type too. I'd have to find it in my bag.
I don't know. arcane or any of that. I just know fairy tales my mother told me, but she talked of, tales of ancient warriors slipping into the Feywild and drinking with the Fey only to wake up thousands of years later, old, and everyone they know dead. But what if those doors or those stones are doorways to another world?
I've had a similar concern too, but they mentioned that it will open again, or whatever the notes said that.
Offer him some of the raw stone you have and see how the footstool reacts. Ask it its name, and what is it?
If you have some of the ore, I'm happy to offer it. I think I need to get something to get its attention before it's going to stop looking at your necklace.
Mist pulls out one of the 4 arrowhead size chips of blue metallic stone he has from Torgal's cave.
Selu takes one of the chips, holds it up towards the creature. You want? Gift.
With your persuasion check still riding, there's a definitive step back for a second in distrust. Easy to tell there's a guarded sense about the way it hunches just a little bit and kind of shifts quickly. And then it steps forward slightly. And the limb, extending much further than you expected it to, comes across the chasm towards you, seeming to extend through its length.
Sailor just continues to hold the piece out.
Its hand or claw is open.
Oh, it's open. If its hand is open, then Sailor will place the piece in the hand.
Snatches back quickly. Brings it near the eye. So close you almost think it's rubbing it in the eye. And then drops it in the mouth on top of its torso. And once again, the teeth begin to roll. And you see the crystals embedded in its body begin to pulse once again. And a dull green crystal from one of its limbs, from one of its upper appendages, seems to shake loose and fall. And as it falls, it strikes a bit of ground before beginning to teeter over into the gap, and it cracks and breaks open, issuing forth a cloud of vapor. And I'm going to say this happens right here. So,
Oh, good.
I need all of you
We made it fart.
to please roll a dexterity saving throw.
And does everyone get the +4?
Yeah, and we're all within 10 feet, right?
Unfortunately, it's 20 feet, so yes. So that's everybody.
So if it's a +4, I received a dirty 20.
Okay.
19 for me with a +4.
23.
With a total of +10, that's a 15.
That bro shield.
total of plus 11. That's a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the lowest?
15.
Okay, cool. So you all succeed. So you all take half damage. As this poisonous cloud rolls out from where the crystal impacted, quickly, and then dissipating, thinning out so much that it doesn't affect you anymore. You all take 5 points of poison damage. Unless you are resistant to such things.
Say, Lou, do you think this thing is eating to power itself up? Did we do bad by allowing it to eat?
I am. Nope. Nope. That's not 0. 50. um. I have no idea. What it after it eats this thing, can I get a gauge? I would like a vibe check.
I'm sorry. Miss, do you have evasion already?
Nope.
Okay, gotcha. So you take 5. Kai, do you have danger sense?
Actually,
Barbarian ability. I think you
Yeah,
should
hang
roll with
on.
advantage on that. You succeeded anyway, so never mind. All right.
So with a quick self-imposed investigation check, Mist has a different hypothesis that he'll pop out of when you're asking Melly about, or Melly, if you're asking about powering this thing up. Not the, so it ate one, and then the stone that fell out was like a green. I wonder if this stone is toxic to it. If the poison that is affecting us was the same, that is, if it is having some effect on this thing.
Like it's diseased?
Like this stone is the most abundant food, but maybe not the healthiest. It's like how children eat Takis.
Hey, Takis are delicious.
Are they though?
There are some delicious things that are really unhealthy for you.
So, as Mist is saying this, and Selu is like paying like attention to Mist, that they would like to look back and kind of get that gauge of like, does it seem like it's happy that it ate this thing? Like
Roll an insight check for me. I'm gonna say with disadvantage because
it's perfectly fair.
this is an utterly foreign thing.
So with disadvantage, I will claim the rule of Jacob. And take an inspiration check for the next time. And I have no freaking clue whether or not this thing is happy about anything.
Noted.
Mist, I have no idea.
It looks at you, looking at it, looking at you, looking at it, and
More food.
It does seem hungry.
Great, we fed it. Now it's gonna go home with us.
I'm gonna try to grab a piece of green crystal off the wall and try to hand it to it.
seems utterly indifferent to the crystal.
Okay.
Um.
Does it take it though?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to give that.
Miss, don't you have a magical gem that's like this elemental fire thing?
Give it that.
Even the one that I looked at and thought I was going to blow everything up,
Yeah.
I don't think I should give it to the strange rock thing.
Hi. As you're watching this, you are an incredibly perceptive individual. And you notice that its eye, when people are not looking at it, its eye flits downward at them. And you catch it one time as its eye flits to Melly's hand as she extends her hand, and there's a ring. And its eye flits to Mist's necklace. And its eye flits to Jubei's hip. And it looks at you, and its eye flits to your hip where there's a pouch of amount of gold.
Can I insight it to understand what that means?
Sure.
Is it disadvantage?
I'm going to say yeah. Because it is an utterly alien creature.
With disadvantage, it's a 12.
Okay, with a 12. It took the stone of a unique metal and ate it. And is now looking where your coin purse is.
Yeah. It's the metal. It likes metal. And I pull out the handful of silver that I have. I have 5 silver that I have in my pouch. I'm gonna pull that out,
Okay.
and I'm gonna offer it to Selu because this thing seems to trust them.
And Sailor will take the silver and offer that out same way as the ore piece before.
Same as before, the arm extends much longer than you were expecting it to and snatches the silver pieces back and then feeds itself.
I'm gonna move back a little bit when that happens so that it doesn't fart again.
Does it in fact fart again?
Let's find out, shall we? I just put that fucking die back in the bag, too. I don't know why I did that.
Do you have a die that's like special for farts?
Nope. As it reaches the arm out to take the silver crystal that's on the generally top, seems to be crackling a little bit and slips and falls loose and falls into the hole. And you look down as the creature snatches the silver out of your hand, and you see a flash of lightning.
So I think feeding it seems to be making these stones fall off of it. I don't think we want too many more of them.
And it feeds itself the silver.
No, I think it might be, well, not good for us, but that might be like some kind of growth that we're helping.
I have an idea. Miss, do you have any more of that raw ore?
I have several pieces, yes.
Jubei reaches into his hakama and pulls out a jar of honey. That melee gave him. He like takes the lid off. Drop the ore in here.
Oh. Okay.
Jubei just wants to see if he can get it to eat the jar.
You're an idiot.
So, you know these rocks are very important to me, yes?
You know that honey's very important to me, yes?
Call it the scientific method.
I do claim to be a person of science, and Miss dips the thing into the honey jar. One of
Do you
their
dip it?
arrowhead.
Do you dip it or drop it?
He sticks it in, yeah. Sorry.
And Jubei reseals the lid. Shake it up a little bit.
And then what?
Who's closest to the creature?
I mean,
Selu.
Selu has been up to this point.
Hand the jar to Selu.
Is there a reason behind this? Are we just trying to see if it'll eat more than just the stone?
Yes.
Selu will hold the jar out.
It snatches the jar and shatters it on the rocks at its feet, picks up the little piece of metal and puts it in its mouth.
Right.
At least it's covered in honey, so he did eat part of it.
All right, y'all. I can't stand this any longer. I think we have to get a move on.
We have made our peace offering. If this thing is going to help us, great. If not, we need to be on our. We're going down anyway, right?
We
It
also
disrespected me.
Well, we also just proved how smart it is.
That's true.
Yes, it will smash our body upon the rocks to take whatever precious metals we have.
So
Gabe, I don't like that response.
I'm like, I hadn't thought of that, but you know.
I think this is a creature, that is eating the miners, and I don't feel as compelled to help it out anymore.
what if it can take us down? We need to get down. That's a long way down. Do we have a means to get down there?
I has a rope. I have a rope.
That's that long?
No, but it will work. We can climb. We've done this before.
What if it can help us get down?
As long as it does not eat me.
You are not made of metal, so I think you're safe.
I don't know that.
You don't know
My
you're made
skin
of
is
metal?
The same color as the skin is the same color as the rocks. I am apparently attached to the moon. There's some rock that draws the souls of my people or the shadows of my people into it. I don't know what I am anymore.
You know what? That's fair. Sailor will look back towards the creature, and the rumbling begins again, and trade. You take home down, pointing down the cavern.
Mm-hmm.
We give more doorstone.
I would like a group persuasion check. Your mannerisms, the side conversations, your postures, all of this leading to this moment.
Would I be allowed to guidance myself?
Because you are doing this very intentionally in the moment, yes.
Okay.
16.
25.
Oh. What? Okay.
18 for Selu.
What the fuck just happened?
Looks like you rolled in D&D Beyond.
I did, but it rolled twice, and I don't know why. And it matters because one of them was a 2, and the other one was a 17.
That sounds like a roll again and see what we get.
Is that okay with Gabe?
If we can't tell which one was which.
Yes, but the third roll will be canon.
That's fine. The third roll is... Holy shit, I rolled another 2.
The fates have...
It was meant to be.
The fates have spoken.
That means that it is a net 1, because I have a -1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not a nat 1.
No, not a net.
Net.
Not a nat, a net. Yes, correct.
Bill, what is your total?
That is what we call a dirty 1.
Okay, I guess I cut out. What did you need me to roll?
Persuasion.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever rolled a dirty one. That's fucking nuts.
13.
Okay. On a razor thin margin.
Uh-oh.
I apologize for nothing.
The creature slides back into the rock.
This whole
Disappearing
time,
from
Kai's
view.
hand has been like on his blade, like fucking just do it. Like I'm ready. Like
Yume's arm's just been crossed this whole time.
Selu, the creature dips beneath the rock, and I'm going to say this conversation's lasted longer than 10 minutes.
Okay.
As the creature dips beneath the rock, there's a pause and a moment where you're like, fuck, did I just waste my time? Where is it? And then, like surfing on a roll of sand, you are lifted up as the rock beneath your feet rolls and moves as if it was liquid and begins to lower you down the edge of the chasm safely.
It's helping. Don't freak out.
I'm glad you said that because Kai was like in the process of freaking out. Like
It's going to help us. So, like, with this now happening, Selu is going to explain. When we get down here, we have to give it more of the ore. I promised it more if it would help us down.
Son of a bitch. Fine.
Down where?
Delu, as you disappear into the darkness,
Oh, this is just me?
just you.
I said home. That was the whole. That was family. That was everyone. Shit.
It sets you down in a stone chamber. It looks like it's been melted into the earth. Two very quick things hit you, a left and a right. No, two very quick things hit you. It's hot. And it's a lot hotter that way. Down one end of the tunnel, where you can see a red glow faintly in the distance. And the creature emerges from the stone. Food.
Selu will pull. Where is mine? How much do I have? Selu will pull 20 gold out of their pouch
Okay.
and hand it to it.
Okay. It takes the 20 gold from you, places it into the maw on the top of its torso, and disappears back into the rock sliding around it, leaving you alone.
in the
Okay, but
meantime,
that's fair.
Kai has his fucking like his rope of climbing out and is like tying it around his waist, and he's like, "You stay here, and I will go rescue Selu." Like,
The
Right.
footstool just kidnapped Selu.
Right
You don't know.
about the time that happens, Mist. The ground beneath your feet begins to roll and slide forward.
Oh fuck!
As-
It's easier than me.
As you are slowly lowered 200 feet.
Okay, never mind. It's not eating me.
A lot faster than you were expecting as you descend 80 feet around. As it moves and dashes. And sets you down next to Selu. And emerges from the stone. And says, food in primordial.
And Selu will specify it wants food now, but it was fine with gold, so you may not have to give it the stone. You can try gold.
We'll like side eye Selu, and look back to this thing that's growling at it in some unknown language that sounds like rocks.
And it's like 5 feet away at this point. It's monstrous.
Just
Uh,
I.
Mist pulls out 9 copper pieces and hands it to it.
You stingy bastard.
It takes the copper, places it into its maw, and sinks back into the rock.
And Mist will look back at Salo and say, "Gold." Thumbs up.
One by one, you are each brought down thanks to a very interesting group moment rather than combat.
Wow.
This is marvelous. What do you each pay the toll with that you
Give it a
created for
hug.
yours? Well, Jubei, you're welcome to try.
I'll give it a gold piece or 2.
What do you give it specifically?
I give it 3 gold pieces.
Okay.
I give it 4.
Okay.
Out of 1 up Jubei.
That's not even
Yeah.
why.
Gotta do it somewhere.
Make sure you subtract those from your character sheets.
I do.
Melly, last brought down. When it emerges from the stone, having brought you down at 80 feet around.
As
Yes.
Jubei's sinking, he looks at me and like, "This is just a normal day for us. Just go with it."
As the creature emerges from the rock, what do you offer it? As it
My
says,
sword. No, I'm just kidding. I'll look to the group. Y'all, I stopped carrying coin with me a long time ago.
This cheapskate.
She wouldn't lie to us twice in the same day.
I barter.
Selu immediately provides another 20 gold.
Oh, honey, you don't need that much. And I'll like.
Selu is
Sorry.
already
Keep in mind-
Selu has already held it out.
Keep in mind, you
Like-
watched me and Jubei give it like 3 and 4 gold
Don't
pieces.
care. Selu has held out
Okay.
another 20.
Jesus.
We have
Hey,
come on. Like, Kai knows the difference between 4 and 20 gold.
No, I agree. It's a handful. I feel like 4 gold is a handful. I fucking pulled a handful out.
We've established this.
takes the
Sailor's
20
no
gold.
better about gold than Kai is.
It takes the 20 gold and places it in its maw. And then glides back into the stone.
It's fine.
Do we know where it's going now? I don't like not knowing where the rock monster is going.
I think it's gonna go wherever it needs to go, and I think it's best if we go where we need to go.
I'd like to leave its presence.
I would too if I didn't have anything to pay it with.
Listen, all I carry around with me
Sass.
is honey, and I've been fine. No one told me I was gonna have to pay the fare for some little rock creature to take me somewhere, alright?
Okay. All right.
Melly, as you stand here, looking back up this smooth volcanic shaft that goes up to the chamber you were just in. That means Selbin had to climb that.
That's sad.
You know, it's like that creature was not going to take no for an answer. It's like it was his ultimatum.
Jubei and Mist.
Yeah, there's a rock slide. You both die.
Jesus. It's either Bill's jokes or we can move on. So,
Man, which to choose?
as Jubei and Mist stand in this vent of heat coming up, as the ground slopes sharply at almost 20 degrees away from you towards a faint red glow in the distance, Jubei and Mist are perfectly comfortable. Everyone else is sweating. The heat is oppressive. But the instructions you were given was travel towards the light.
So this is a much
So-
more comfortable cave than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, let's move forward looking at Kai and before it gets swampy.
So we're supposed to go towards that?
I could have sworn, yeah, it said a. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I could have sworn it was a vent with blue light.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was just to follow the light.
Well, for those of you that can speak to the creature, do we owe the ferryman any more after this?
I'm hoping since it's gone, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we leave its home here before it comes back asking for more gold.
Alright. Hopefully it's had its fill at least for now, and we leave before it decides it's hungry again.
Yeah.
Does Mist have any? Well, Mist is having personal flashbacks of
Existential crises, we know.
right, fleeing through a smooth shaft tunnel into a basin of a volcano, into the magma pit of a volcano, and then trying to climb his way up and out while being chased. Does this seem familiar to that?
Painfully so.
No, no, Melly. That is the way we would escape if we were to escape. They would be chasing us from that way, and Mist points the opposite way up the volcano or up the funnel.
You mean, say that one more time?
Pointing down towards the glowing red where the magma is. That is the way we would go to escape. That is the way they would be chasing us from.
All right. I'll trust you.
So, Mist,
Right?
which way are you saying we should go?
Away from the glowing red light. If I understood that correctly. Okay.
So the instructions that you were given from Chetland was head towards the red light, and then you will see a vent with blue light.
Yeah, my bad.
However, Missed by your recollection and your dreams, you are 100% correct.
Huh.
I just... I know it's not exactly what we were told to do, but it's like I've been here before, and I was chased from that direction, and I ran that way for freedom. If we're going into the... it doesn't make sense.
But aren't you said you dreamed this, right?
As much as I had dreamed before Melly's spell, yes?
But we've determined that the dreams were of the boogeyman that lives inside you. So why would we follow its instructions?
Okay, I'll go whichever direction you all want to.
I would say that I'm inclined to follow Mist. You do have a connection to this place. Your ancestors do, at least, I think.
I know that I was chased out and away from something that direction and into that magma pit. Caldera? Is that what it's called?
Caldera.
Caldera, okay. Mist
But-
would use that word because he's smarter than me.
What were you being chased by?
I didn't look back to see. I had black hands like Kai's, and there were claws like my shadows. I used them to grind my way into this stone and climb out through the caldera.
So this was your. You left through there, and I point into the red light.
In the dream, I did.
Have you had premonitions before at all, Miss?
Premonitions? No. No, if I knew what was coming up ahead of me, I wouldn't be in this situation now.
Miss, your shadow came from Selbin, right?
Or whoever had it before him, or whoever had it before him, we are vessels.
Sailor looks towards Melly and back towards Mist, kind of addressing them both. Is that how Selbin got out?
I'm inclined to believe that he had to climb the wall we just came down from.
But did he climb that? Or did he climb that? Looking down towards the caldera.
And Melly, you know that Sylvan came out through the mines because Chetland helped smuggle him out.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it was this vent shaft or another one along this large tube, one of these he climbed up.
I'm a little torn, if I'm being honest, about where to go, because Chetland's directions say one thing, but I don't want to dismiss what Mist is offering, because I do believe that he has some connection to this mountain.
So looking around, so we see the direction to go towards the caldera. Is there another distinctive direction to go down here?
You can go down or you can go up.
Up being like back the direction that we came down?
So,
Or just a different path leading upward?
your favorite episode.
Gabe draws!
Let's see, draw freehand. All right, so you imagine if this is the center of what you're assuming is the volcano, heading upwards through this vent, there will be offshoots here. And so you just came down this one.
Okay.
And so you can either go towards the volcano or away from the volcano.
Gotcha.
One goes down, one goes up.
I would go towards.
So based off of what Chetland said, we would go toward.
Correct.
Based off of what Miss is saying, we would go away.
Correct.
How would Chetland have known where we were going to come down? I don't think he would have expected us to come down with the help of our friend that we just made.
Yes,
So
but I don't think this friend was around.
But how was he expecting us to get down 200 foot? But like, was that... I'm with you on wanting to trust Mist on this. I don't...
Staley, make a perception check.
9 plus 7 is 16.
Okay. This is kind of a retroactive thing, but as you were at the top, milling about, trying to figure out what was what, you glanced to the side and saw another hole, just like the one you were carried down.
Okay.
And that one had the workings of cranes hovering over it. Melly, from your own experience with Chetland, you know he's probably been down here.
Yeah.
He's a curious little fuck.
Miss, the
And
reason why I was...
the moment some of his miners started going missing, he wouldn't have just sealed off the mine without trying to find something.
Miss, the reason why I was asking if you've had premonitions before, because I wonder if your dream was showing you escaping the sanctuary after whatever happens when we get there.
There have been several. There's one I rip through iron bars and I fly into space, and then one I climb up and fall into a caldera and into the most painful experience of my life, and then one I am recaptured by these I guess seekers. The dreams happen over and over, and they always end differently.
Are you having dreams of multiple people that have experienced this ritual?
You're asking questions that there is no way for me to know the answer to.
I think that's something to consider, Jubei. I think that's a great question. I think maybe we should just follow Chetland's orders for now.
Maybe there aren't multiple shadows. Maybe this is one shadow. Have you seen... You're from the Seekers. Have you had more than one individual suffering from this at one time?
Yes. Right, DM? I'm just talking out of my ass. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Every one of the tieflings born in the sanctuary has their own journey to walk.
Miss, I trust you, and I have no doubt that your dreams mean something, but I think for now, let's at least go check out where Chetland was sending us, because he got Selbin out of here. So it's not his first time getting something in.
Fine with me. I am in no hurry.
Right then. Until the light, we're looking for blue on the left. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Keglin's run was on the left.
The whole tunnel you traveled down was Keglin's run.
I think now we're just looking for the vent tunnel with the blue light.
Yep.
Right.
All right.
I mean, if you all want to be looking for it, it's no big deal.
Well, we've come all this way. We might as well.
As you head towards the red light, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And I need Kai, Selu, and Melly to all roll Constitution saving throws, please.
I'm so good at these.
Add a +4.
So I don't know if this matters at all. I have resistance to fire because of my Dao. Does that do anything for me here?
That is only when you're wielding it,
Okay.
I think. Let me double check.
Ugh. It's bad.
Yeah, only when you're holding it.
Okay. So con.
Yeah.
Am I still getting the +4 from Melly?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have relentless endurance? You do
So
not.
I
Okay.
yes, I do. What? Relentless endurance is the thing that lets me drop to 1 HP instead of 0.
Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry.
It's fine. I got a 17.
There's a barbarian thing. I think it's like level 5 or 6 that lets you have advantage on effects like this.
Let me see. It might be new.
Doesn't look like it.
Are you
Okay,
thinking
so
about Fighter Indomitable?
maybe I don't remember right now. But Melly, what was your roll?
I threw my dice too hard and it fell to the floor on a 1.
Okay. Well, have Jacob's rule.
You're welcome.
Melly, you gain a point of exhaustion
Oh no.
as the oppressive heat seeps into your bones and makes you lethargic and tired. Saley, what was your roll?
Big old 10.
Gain 1 point of exhaustion, my friend.
Sweet.
Kai,
This is a 17.
you are fine. No issues.
Seeing Melee struggle a little bit with the heat, Jubei will offer her his hand to help her through the tunnel.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
It's been a while since you've had to do something like this, right?
Oh, it has. I thought I was, I still had it, but I guess the weight of the armor, it's been a while. I'm feeling quite tired.
As you all continue to journey down and down and down, you walk for an hour, 2, seeing several vents that go off, exploring 1 or 2 of them, finding nothing, until eventually, as your pace slows to be able to keep up, but let those who are feeling the effects keep up, the tiniest little sliver of a crack in the side of the tunnel reveals a faint blue glow. And coming up to the edge, you see a tunnel full of glowing blue mushrooms.
Hmm.
And that's where we're going to leave off.
Oh, man.
Ciao, friends. Let's go ahead and roll off for some Thanksgiving accolades.
Yay. I got it too.
Okay.
Oh, man. We are rolling strong tonight. I see a
I
5
rolled a
and a
1.
1 and an 8.
Yep.
I was rolling well. And then
All right. And an 8 for Mist. It's do this. And Kai, why don't you lead us off, my friend?
Sure. Player accolade. I'm going to give to Selu for navigating that social interaction ?
That could have so easily been a fight.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, Gabe was talking to you, and I was like, man, I am so glad that I don't speak Primordial. I have no fucking clue what's happening, and even if I did, like, I wouldn't know what to say back to it. Like,
I was
but
struggling.
You navigate. No, you did such a good job, man. I was very impressed. So,
Thank you.
yeah, like, and combat would have been cool there too, but like that made things just a lot easier, you know.
Just different.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Gabe, I'm gonna take it before Bill does. Yeah, cool monster choice. It was really cool to see them. I like the way you described it eating, with the teeth rolling. It created a really cool image in my head. And yeah, fun session.
Thank you. Up next is Mist with an 8.
Man, I'm sorry. I think Melly's lie was my favorite character moment. And that, like, as the social pressure grew, so did Melly's anxiety about maintaining the lie, and that was super fun to watch. It's just a fun character growth moment for Melly to show off, like, how stalwart or forthcoming she really is. And then DM wise, Gabe, I think I've mentioned this phrase before that you use that always gets me, but the itch on the back of your teeth when you describe something.
I hate that every
Yes.
time.
Right?
It makes me uncomfortable
when you say it, but
That
it
is-
portrays exactly what you want it to. Then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
so
even
that-
I can't even process exactly what it means, but it works. Like
right.
Yeah.
Your use of that phrase is my DM moment.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Selu.
I am a line on the night for Mist that just cracked me up. As I'd want to leave too. If when speaking to Melly about like not having the toll, so to speak, it just in the moment across all of it, and then rolling from that into then starting into like the sass, then into the like the talk about the dreams of like no this way, and then like I don't know, the transition of all of that, and like there was a lot of back and forth from Mist on giving towards the situation, and then like making a sassy remark, and then like back into it, and I don't know how to explain what I mean by this, but Mist was a roller coaster tonight across things, and I felt it, and I think that was clear through a few different things, but it was that line in particular that like made me realize how distinct some of those moments were. And then Gabe, the kind of two things. The Zorn situation, rolling with that was super cool because I'm getting the gist that was not how you expected that to go. So
I didn't have an expectation.
Yeah,
but it still surprised me.
Yeah, cool. It was super fun, kind of just rolling through that with you. It was a fun scene. I really appreciated the whole party through it, but the way you delivered information through that in very obtuse manners was a really interesting way to play through that. And then from a personal perspective, the starting of me to understand Dwarvish, we had kind of chatted about some of that a little bit through some character choices, and I appreciated that touch quite a lot. So,
Thank you very kindly, friend. Melly with a 2. Rolling strong, y'all.
We're doing great. I have to give it my accolades, my roses to Selu, because Jacob, just like the aside you had with like Melly was very sweet. There were so many character moments throughout today's session that just like made my heart feel very happy. Like when you kept looking at the card because it was like, you know, making you feel a little weird because it was the same as Reese's, and how, you know, how you kind of kept it and like hid it away. But also I got kind of emotional when you were just like, friend home. I was like, oh my gosh. And you just like said it without like thinking. It just came so naturally, and you were just like, yeah, this is what it is. It was just really great to see that moment happen so naturally and genuinely. So thank you.
thank
It was
you.
delightful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And then, Gabe, you described a couple of things today that made my tummy turn, one of which was the itchy teeth, which I'd never heard before, but also the rock, like grinding up against each other for like primordial, for like this elemental, which I thought was really, really cool. Yeah, I was just like so fully immersed in like the things you were describing, in regards to the environment, but also like the feelings we were getting, the sounds we were hearing. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And last but certainly not least, Bill, bring us home.
Well, I don't care about Derek's comment. So awesome, pulling one out of the old D&D books for the old man here. That was great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's it was a good old not used creature, you know, that needs to see some love. So props there. I am there's one moment that sticks out that I really enjoyed, and that was me like just messing around, but like how within a second Melee like just switched from telling a lie to I can't I can't lie to you guys. I really enjoyed that, so that's where mine goes.
Wonderful. For me to you all, there were a couple of really cute or impactful, fun little moments from Kai, but my favorite one was right at the beginning of the session. You heard basically a war party roll up to the guild hall where you just were, and you're like, not saying a thing. I loved that. The like sometimes less is more approach. And like, you know, I have no doubt Kai would say something to everyone, but the that choice right at the beginning of the session was like, oh shit. All right, Kai thinks this is serious because he's not saying something. I really, really appreciated that moment. Mist, my favorite Mist moment tonight was yeah, we need to go down there. I mean, if you want to, like, all of this buildup, all of this story building towards Mist, and you're like, nah. Yeah, I mean, you just bumped into somebody's back because you weren't paying attention and you were distracted. And then you're like, nah, it's fine. We can do whatever you want to. I really, really loved that. I also really loved the possessiveness of some of the Moonsong Steel and how that is presenting itself in this scenario. It was really, really cool.
Thank you.
Selu, the conversations with Melly as you progressed down the tunnel were really, really cool. Also, I really enjoyed We talked a little bit about the languages, and this was weeks ago now, or a week ago, or whatever the fuck it was. Time is soup. But I dropped that in there just to give you a choice. Like, hey, here's an avenue you could go with, and you ran with it. And I love that yes anding. Always do. Your interaction with the Zorn was marvelous, and not exactly a normal Zorn, as you all discovered, but still, I really enjoyed that, like trying to understand and describing the way your vocal cords reverberated too was really cool.
Maybe he's a Zorn that struggles with identity.
Yeah. I mean, it's just trying to leave a legacy. So, Melly, I don't carry money. That moment killed me. And in the very beginning of the session, the sudden realization that, like, oh shit, people saw us. Like, fuck, what happened? And you recall Chetlin was specifically like, the scale mistress walked out and then the tattletale ran off. Like, this sudden fuck, I've put Chetlin in harm's way kind of thing. I could feel that in everything you were saying to him, and I really, really appreciated that. And I mean, Melly just uses compassion, but that was a beautiful, beautiful touch as well. And Bill, my favorite moment from Jubei, and actually my accolade for the evening, was such a simple thing, but it was so powerful. And it was a gorgeous yes and moment, but reaching the hand out to offer it to Melly as she was stumbling, and saying, hey, it's been a while since you've worn the armor, right? That's so much little detail picked up over multiple sessions and then woven into this small little moment that gives so much character to the party, the scene, the session, all of it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So, GM inspiration to Jubei.
I have one.
Okay.
So who doesn't? Then mine will go to Mist.
I think we had a couple of Jacob's Rule moments.
Yeah, Melly and I both refreshed ours towards the end of things.
Awesome. Well, friends, thank you very much for playing in our game as we progress towards something. And we know that there's a Zorn in the tunnel somewhere, so that's fun.
That's fine.
Just
feed him. Just don't let him get hangry. It'll be fine.
Those of you tuning in and checking our episode throughout the week, because we see you popping in throughout the week and catching some views, we appreciate you. And we do this just because it's fun, and so I have an easy way to go back and check notes, because that's what we're doing here, if we're being honest. But as it is the giving of thanks here in the States, remember to express your gratitude, your kindness, and your compassion to others. It will literally change their lives for the better. And practice kindness. It is, in fact, a free action. You can do it every round. Peace.
At all.